Zillan messaged me. He said he was going to go ahead and probably stream.
In the city of lit fire, dark streets of fire, old fighter stands tall. He's ready for brawl. Armor gleams in moonlight. He's trapped for the fight. Let's see through in might. Shadows blur in the night. Maybe rupture, feel his fury. Builds momentum, catch it hurry. With the cataclysm, ground will quake. Enemy stays dread as he ramps up his dread. Every swing he makes, the battlefield shakes. All the spikes shoot from the ground. Enemies fall all around. Shatter us with a might bound. Maybe rupture, feel his fury. Builds momentum, catch it hurry. With the cataclysm, ground will quake. Enemies face dread as he ramps up his tread. Every swing he makes, the battlefield shakes. All the spikes shoot from the ground. Enemies fall all around. Shatter us with a might bound. Maybe rupture, feel his fury. Builds momentum, catch it hurry. With the cataclysm, ground will quake. In the land of air beneath the moonlit sky, a caravan left Winstead, grit in their eye. Wagons full of goods, dreams bound for Miraleth, but shadows lurked in silence, bringing the test of death. The horses' hooves were steady on the worn-out trail, through valleys deep and wide, past the silver veil. Bandits in the night, with greed and foul intent, turned the peaceful journey into swift lament. Run, caravan, the bandits close behind. From Winstead till Miraleth, there's no peace to find. Hold tight to your dreams, ride through the night. In the land of error, you must stand and fight. Torches lit the darkness, faces cloaked in dread. Caravan speeding forward, a bounty on its head. The wind whispered warnings through the ancient pines, as Ferris hills echo with those desperate cries. Wheels upon the gravel, hearts pounding wild. Whispers of a haven, just another mile. But destiny and terror is cruel and unkind. Bandits foes is closing in, stealing peace of mind. Run, caravan, the bandits close behind. From Winston to New Left, there's no peace to find. Hold tight to your dreams, ride through the night. In the land of error, you must stand and fight.
What's going on, y'all? Seeing a lot of familiar, names and faces here. We got Wizzy, Fupo as always. Thank you for stopping in, Fupo. Penumbral, my buddy that's always there, always there. I think I saw Levi in a minute ago, and of course Vladis. If you're still here, man, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it.
You're still in Discord.
There we go. I forgot about Discord. Could have just messaged me in Discord, but you know, whatever. That works. No, Vlad is off to be with the wife. Okay, there we go. Dr. Burns, what's up, man? Haven in just a mile, Levi says. I hope you guys enjoy the Ashes music that I've been putting together. Not through any talent of mine other than typing prompts into AI, but whatever. I've been trying to put together music for you guys that's a little different than what we've been listening to for the last, how long has this game in development? Since like 1964 or something. Sheeta 15, first time chatter in my channel. So thank you for chatting there. Thank you for being here. It's been 84 years, Lulu says. Yep. We've been in development of this game for a long time. Real long time. 1864, friend. Get it right. AOC 2027. I hope it's not that far away. I really, really, really hope it's not that far away. But, I mean, I suppose it could be. You're from the raid, just hanging out now. Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. We pretty much just talk Ashes of Creation here. Sometimes I react to other people's content. A lot of times I just sit here and hang out with chat, and we talk about all kinds of Ashes of Creation related topics, like the fact that we don't have this damn game in our hands right now. Dr. Burns says his game is 2026. Wizzy says 2027. Z Jace, also first time chatter, says, I don't understand why the MMO industry is sucking so much. There's nothing worth playing that was made in the last decade. Preach, man. I have my own theory as to why. I think that publishers have fucked this genre over in ways that you can't even imagine. They saw the success of World of Warcraft in 2004, and they have repeated the same game. It's ESO is WoW with Elder Scrolls skin, and Lotro is WoW with the Lord of the Rings skin, and SWTOR is WoW with the Star Wars skin, and they just keep releasing that same game over and over again because the publishers are forcing them to, because the publishers are the ones who have the financial interest, and they look and see the success of WoW and say, you need to copy WoW, instead of saying, hey, innovate and do something new and adventurous and exciting. And so that's why you've got this, and it literally has taken somebody who found a way to finance an MMO, which is a really, really expensive endeavor. They found a way to finance an MMO outside of the hands of publishers. And so if you want to know, if you want a reason for why they've sucked for that long, that's it. That's it in my estimation. Ladulu says, I'm team 2028 at the earliest. At the earliest, bro? 4 more years from now? They cannot be an Alpha 2. They cannot be an Alpha 2 for 4 years. Oh, God. I mean, don't get me wrong. They can. And they even might. Oh, God. No. No. December 31st, 2026 is Royer's guess. Emogenous says, "What's up, people? What's going on, Emo? Thank you for stopping in." Maz Monday says, "In the time I've been waiting for Ashes, I've had children and changed jobs 3 times, getting married on the 17th of August. My birthday. Awesome, you're getting married on my birthday. I'm be pissed if Ashes drops on my wedding day. Oh, I don't think there's any chance. Maz, I'm going to give you, you may not know this information, but World of Warcraft, The War Within, which is their next expansion, is August 26th. So there's no chance August 17th is the day. They're going to wait. It's going to be way before that or way after that. I think you're good. I think you're good. Fupo says, Zillin, yep, that's about it. That's too long. Gonna lurk some, playing some DQ8 at the moment. Hope you have a good stream. DQ8. Somebody help me out. Dragon Quest 8. Boom. Nailed it. $100 says 2027. Penumbra's ready to put down the money. $100. It's all about that return on interest. Yep, for the publishers, for sure. We all know A2 is coming out this August. If it is, it's early August. I can't imagine them trying to compete with World of Warcraft. That's what I would do. Just for the record, I'm on the record as saying this. I would, if I were Intrepid, I would launch Alpha 2 on the same day as the War Within. Number one, you're just walking in the room and putting your dick on the table. Like, I own this space. I'm not scared of World of Warcraft. It's the message you put out there. But also, most of the people who have Alpha 2 access are going to go play World of Warcraft, the game that actually exists, and then come trickle back in and test Alpha 2. And so now you get like a nice trickling in, and you're not dealing with queues for the entirety of the time. For God God knows how long that would last. But we'll see. That's what I would do. I'm on the record. World of Warcraft told the world they stopped working on StarCraft because the Celestial Steed mount made more money than the entirety of that game. That's when the whole industry said, hey, we can do that. Yep, there you go. Yeah, they're just copying the same model. 3 years of Alpha 2 and then a bit of Beta 1, 2, and prep for release. Alpha 2 for 4 years is some Star Citizen level shit raffle. Yes, I have a conspiracy theory about what happened on all this, and I said it on stream a few days ago during a daytime stream. Maybe I'll get into that, but I think they're closer than people think for how, like, the distance of Alpha 2 is not going to be crazy like that, but whatever. Games got to make money to pay people. It's true. It's true. They do. Zillin, always remember we go back like 4 years already, bro. Yes, I know. I was telling the stream earlier last week. I feel so bad for my poor wife. I do, because like I was telling her, there's this game. It's coming out. It's gonna be revolutionary. It's huge. It's so massive. I've been looking into it. I've seen gameplay, like already made gameplay from like 2017. So we're getting close to like. This game's going to be here. I'm going to be a content creator for it. Durin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I was pumping her up, and then we get in here, and that has not been the case. It's just waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm to the point now when I mention this game to my wife, she just goes, okay, yeah. She just does not care at all. My wife's a bigger Alpha 2 or Ashes of Creation skeptic than Hill and Giga Bear combined. Wizard and Sheeta, both of y'all, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. It's so funny. I feel so bad for my poor wife. Wyatt says, yeah, but now we've been conditioned by all these WoW clones. Primnir just resubscribed for 2 months. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Wow. But now that we have been conditioned by all these WoW clones, will we, as the players, be willing to forgo all the instant gratification? I don't care if other players will. I think enough players will that we'll have a steady, healthy population in this game. Is there going to be some people who are like, wait, 4 or 5 months? 4 or 5 months of playing 4 or 5 hours a day to hit max level? Nah, I'm out. Yeah, we're going to have those people. And they can go back to WoW. And like I said on Jamie's podcast the other day, the game that they want already exists. Go fucking play it. Go play it. Can there be one game where you actually have to try, where there's actually some risk in what you're trying to do? Can we just get one? All the other ones exist. Your game is all the other games. We just want the one. A2 for at least 2.5 years, Sheikah says. By the way, Josh Wyatt became a member over on my YouTube channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You're joining the Zillagers. If it's 2028, EU6 is out then. Or UE6? EU6. Yeah, Unreal Engine 6. They can't keep extending the game out by saying that we're just going to go to the new engine every time. That can't be what they do. This is bullshit. No. Burns, or Penumbra told Burns, I'll sub to you, whatever you do and wherever you do it. Yeah. Boy, can we talk about how Burns gives us all the inferiority complex? All the other content creators, like, we all message each other like, fuck, man. I try my hardest and my video looks like absolute trash compared to what Burns puts out. It's bullshit. If y'all aren't subscribed to the Copium Clinic on YouTube, you better go do it. It's good. It's good stuff. Craren says, wait, y'all think Axis is actually going to release to us? Steven is just going to keep it for himself and his close friends. He's going to spend over $100 million by the time it's done for him and his close friends. I mean, I guess more power to you. Going to be one hell of a honeymoon. No one was talking about the publisher thing. Somebody said that they didn't understand why MMOs have been sucked out a long time. That's why I started talking about the publisher thing. It was relevant, I swear. Leave me alone. Currents and Wizzy said that it'd be the ultimate power Chad move to just keep the game for himself after creating it. That would be. Oh man, you know how pissed off people would be. People paid a lot of money to get into this game. So now that is now the fourth. I don't understand y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate the shit out of y'all. That is now the fourth person since I started streaming again a few weeks ago who has re-upped their subscription for the 36th month. So let's be clear about that. That's 3 years. That's since Alpha 1. Basically, these people have been subscribing to me since Alpha 1. I might have streamed 15 times in those 3 years. Patrick, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really do. Y'all are crazy. In the best way. In the best way possible. Are we truly ready for a game that prioritizes server progression over player progression? Josh, boy, man, Josh, you always say the smartest things, man. That is something that is going to be very, very different. I've talked a lot about how, you might watch a YouTube guide telling you how to make your rogue be like this meta badass rogue or whatever, but they got a specific piece of gear that dropped because a boss existed, and the reason that boss existed is because this specific node on his server was level 5. On your server, it's level 3, and it's locked behind, it's a vassal node, so it's locked behind other nodes around it, so you can't even level up to 5 without sieging some other node, and so now all of a sudden, in order for you to get the meta thing, you need to join a guild that, like, their whole life's purpose is to knock down that node so that they can rush and go build up the other node so that a specific boss will spawn so that they can potentially get that specific weapon. So like you said, server progression, the state of the server rather than the state of your character. That's that's a whole other. I don't know if people are ready for that. Wizzy, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. My sibling rivalry that I have going on with Wizzy, even though we're not siblings. Yeah, do not think there is any other game release that should make really a difference for A2. I agree with that for the most part. Levi, thank you for gifting subs. Appreciate it. I'm with you, Fupo. I would just release when you need to release. To hell with all the other games. Final Fantasy has an expansion, I know, and I think SWTOR has one coming soon, and ESO just had one, and World of Warcraft has one coming, and it's just like, just release your game. If your game is awesome, like Steven even said it in some of these interviews, if you build it, they will come. He is building a truly unique, revolutionary, modern MMO, and we haven't had one of those. You can make an argument for Eve. Eve was pretty revolutionary and very different. But I mean, since World of Warcraft, I mean it's been a long time. So, to hell with everybody else's games. You just release when you need to release. If I was making an MMO, I'd be dropping something soon because WoW is tired and no one wants that to be the only game. Final Fantasy XIV was old 20 years ago. Nothing else comes close. I don't know how Final Fantasy XIV was old 20 years ago, but okay. But I agree with you that it's right now it's WoW and Final Fantasy, and ESO is a very distant third, but they are somewhat relevant. And yes, now's the time, but the problem is MMOs take a long time to make. So, you can't just say I'm dropping it. Can you believe it's already been 3 years since New World launched? It really doesn't feel like, seriously, man. I still remember I was hanging out with Axiom and Bardic and Fane and Redbeard and all that stuff during that time. And they were just like, New World, man, yeah, New World's gonna carry us all the way to Alpha 2. And I bought that thing and played that damn beta, I think it was the last beta they had, maybe the second to last beta they had. And I played it and I was like, this game is shallow as a frisbee, bro. This game is not gonna last anybody any length of time. And then, yeah, that's exactly what happened. No, that terrible game. Terrible game. Zillion, you needed more gray in your beard. You look more distinguished now, so will be better streams, right? Yep, that gray is starting to really come in. I turned 44 in about a month and a half. No, exactly 2 months from today. So yeah, I got that gray coming in. It's not really coming in the hair though, but the beard, getting the gray. I haven't put any money into AOC because I spent my money for SC, Star Citizen, okay? And, well, that did me a lot of good. Jace, do you have an Alpha 2 key that you won or something? Or are you literally just along for the ride and when the game comes out, you'll be here? Man, y'all got chat going. My husband has been hearing the same shit your wife has been listening to for a bit longer. He laughs at me now, but he also watches content with me thinking it'll be cool someday. Yeah. Well, my wife's not a video game person at all. She doesn't give a crap about any video game ever. I think she plays Monopoly Go on her phone, and that's the limit of her video gaming. So she don't watch content with me, but it is funny that she just does not. She's just like, don't even talk to me about Alpha 2. I've heard that fucking word so many times. One game to rule them all. Yeah, that'd be nice. Burns is goated. He is. I mean, look at EQ. Everything from EQ, and that game is still running with little to no innovation. Why? Why is the MMO industry the only one that does that? I mean, I would argue that it's not just the MMO industry. I mean, you look, Call of Duty came out, and like whichever one that was 15 years ago, the 2008, 2007-ish range, 2006 maybe even, and all of a sudden everybody was copying. Every fucking game that came out was a first-person shooter with lobby and rewards and all that stuff for years. And then Fortnite came out, and then now everything was battle royale all the time. So I think the gaming in general does that. They copy the crap out of each other. Stardew Valley came out, and now there's a million copies of Stardew Valley, and they all do that, in my opinion. Matt says people think they are going to be building the Underworld in Alpha 2, but in the background of 6 years old stream they were building, so I reckon it's all done. They just need to fill the world. That's interesting. know about that. I know that what little bit of Alpha 2, there was a tiny bit of the underworld in Alpha 2. Not like all the way under, but you could go in a cave and there was all that like fluorescent flowers and not fluorescent, lit up flowers and stuff. It was really cool. Really, really cool looking. But it was tiny. So I don't know. We'll see about that. You might be right. MMOs are so expensive to produce that no studio wants to risk hundreds of $millions in development for a game to shit the bed because they took a chance on an innovative idea that nobody liked. And that's correct. That is actually the correct answer. And so it makes it hard to. It's hard to innovate. You could innovate and make a Stardew Valley because he made that game for like $26 and a pack of envelopes or something. Yeah, it's hundreds of millions of dollars to make an MMO. I was so surprised by Burns' video. He needs Asmongold to watch one of his videos like he did for Narc. I mean, yeah. His videos were ridiculous. I only sub when you actively stream. Congrats on 4 months of you're doing it-ish. Hey, this is like my 4th stream in a week or a week and a half. I've been streaming. I'm back. I'm not going to make videos yet. I'm not going to make a lot of videos yet. That's probably more accurate because I'm actually working on one now. I'm going to be doing plenty of streaming, and then the videos will start rolling out as we get a little closer to the actual date. But I'm back. I'm going to be streaming. I'm actually enjoying the shit out of streaming. I'm actually having to not stream on purpose because I know I'll burn myself out, but I want to just go live every day. Every day I'm like, oh, I should just go live again. But then I'm like, I'll run out of content, and then I won't have nothing to talk about. And here we are. Oh my, y'all are chatting like crazy. This is the time in the marathon where you ignore the other guy and focus on the finish line. Yes. Agree, Josh. Agree. Again, you're always with the good takes. The other day in SC, I guess going to be Star Citizen, we had a conversation on the forums about the math to calculate how many backers have died, possibly waiting on Star Citizen to launch. Oh God, why you gotta bring that up? Because now I'm thinking about that. Oh God, it's kind of like the guys like the Cubs. The Cubs had a really long World Series drought, and the Red Sox, the Boston Red Sox, and like all the guys that like they were just like, I just want my dad to see a World Series before he dies. That's all I want because my dad has been been such a huge fan of this team for 100 years and still never saw one. So yeah. Sheeta says only Korean-based MMOs were a big change from WoW. Terra and BDO were pretty good for what they were. Yeah, and then that gets into the whole, well, there's a whole conversation surrounding about that we talked about the other night on Jamie's channel. Bioluminescence Penumbra, I just saw it on the chat. Thank you. I could not think of that fucking word. It just went. Oh. Patrick says, what? You made puns 10K? This is mutiny. Maybe I could change it to less for non-gameplay streams. But whenever we were actually in Alpha 2, it was just like people were just like constantly redeeming them, and I'm having to stop playing the game and go do the puns, and it was just too much. So we'll have to see about that price. Wizzy says 10K puns seems legit. There you go. I played the New World beta for like 3 hours and knew it was shite. I mean, don't get me wrong. I played the shit out of it. I probably played over that one weekend. I probably played 20 hours, 25 hours for the weekend that it was there. But even though I played it and I saw going back to the dopamine video that you guys all watched with Vladis, Dr. Burns' dopamine video, I saw the dopamine loop that they were getting you there and stacking the dopamine and all that stuff. But I also know that doesn't last. Matt says I'm gonna head off. Reception about to drop. I'll watch VOD later. Have fun. Later, man. Thank you. I appreciate you coming by. But yeah, that's I saw it. And I know that doesn't last. The dopamine thing doesn't last. It just like Burns was saying in that video, you have to have something else with it, and it didn't exist. And so I knew that game was going to be pretty shallow is the word that I keep using. It's a shallow video game. It's a mile wide and an inch deep. Like there's just nothing there at all. Man, the Hidden Dagger Inn says, Zillin, hey buddy, good to see you streaming. That is a first time chat from Peon. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've been doing a little streaming during the day, and I want to do some streaming at night too, to catch both crowds. You can repeat a lot of the same shit because the the second crowd didn't hear it when you said it to the first crowd, right? Jay says, I don't have any key. I was in the Envious Guild in AOC, but I sold my account after a few years because I just tired of waiting. Aren't you not supposed to sell your account? Am I wrong about that? Are you not supposed to sell your account? Are you really should you really have not just admitted you sold your? I don't know. I don't know. I thought you weren't supposed to sell your accounts. Maybe I'm wrong. ESO has gotten into Lord of the Rings territory at this point. You only play that game to explore Middle Earth. Virtual tourism. Yeah, I haven't played ESO recently. I really, really like ESO's gearing system. The fact that you wear multiple different set bonuses and you mix and match your set bonuses with some other things to like come up and make a build out of it. I really, really like that. It also makes for nearly infinite horizontal progression. But I haven't played in years at this point. So I don't know what it's gotten down to. But to me, it was always just kind of like, you're there for the story and the novelty of the combat. But once the novelty of the combat wore off, you were left with nothing.
Ready to serve, my lord.
Lord of the Red Sauce. Yes. I'm down here in Texas. We consume a lot of red sauce down here. Lord of the Red Sauce. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, man. Welcome to the Zillagers. Levi says, Zillin in A2, they had a little underworld. Did I say A2? God, I meant A1. See, y'all, we've been talking about A2 so much, it's the only thing that's in my head. It's the only thing that matters. Nothing else in the world matters but Alpha 2. Maz says, your streams are quite entertaining at the moment. A lot more energy than a lot of others. Yeah, I mean, I have... There's no doubt I have a lot of energy. I'm not Tin Man levels of energy because that dude, woo! that boy, I've never seen anybody with as much energy as that guy have. All natural. All natural. Like, that boy's crazy. I wish he was coming back, but he's not. Mile wide, inch deep. Are we talking about Guild Wars 2? No, but we could have been. Guild Wars 2 is another game that's a mile wide and an inch deep. Yep. Selling account is against TOS, correct? Okay, I thought so. I was like, I don't think I would be admitting that if I was sitting here with Discord mods and potentially Ash's development team members in the chat. Feywiz Guar? Feywiz Guar? I mean, I know Guar's okay, whatever. Zillin, you don't know me, but I've been watching for some time. Just glad to get a second to say hi. Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate you watching my content and coming in and hanging out. That's it's always nice to meet somebody that actually watches the channel. What's the classic response? So you're the one? So MMOs are like marriage. You're in it for the long haul, and you better be in it for more than just the dopamine. Yes. Yes. Man. Patrick, I know you and I have had a few conversations in Discord. But you're a good dude, man. I think you see the world the right way. Yes. If you get married, you damn sure better be in it for the long haul. I think I heard about you from Wolfheart back a year or so. Okay. Yep. My buddy Wolfheart. Man, I just smile thinking about the success that he's had watching him go from not unknown. He had like 50,000 subscribers or something like that, but just covering BG3 and just sticking with it and staying with it and staying with it. And then his channel just exploded when BG3 came out. So yeah, Wolfart's my buddy. I talked to him today, actually. Sometimes the dopamine is all you need. Wizzy. You know better than that. What do you always say? Make good choices? You think it's a good choice to get in a marriage just for the dopamine? Really? A2 is a ghost. It is a ghost. It is a ghost. A1 art was the best art, though. What? A1 art was the best? Like the graphics in A1 are better than the graphics in A2? I'm very confused about what you're trying to get at there. Of course, Dr. Burns jumps in. He's gonna steal that shit, Levi. You done made a new phrase about to be in every Dr. Burns video. Copamine. That's funny. Sheena says, with A2 being locked now, it'd be surprising if people don't sell their accounts for a ton when A2 becomes popular. Is Alpha 2, is the value of an Alpha 2 key more right now while everyone is anticipating getting into Alpha 2, or in 6 or 8 months when we've been in Alpha 2, everybody has seen what it is, and it's so good, it's so much fun to test a game, to play a game, to build a character that you're not going to get to keep, to build a world that's going to be demolished whenever you get to launch. Is it more valuable now or then? That's an interesting... I mean, I would say it's definitely a good sign if it ends up being more valuable 6 months from now or 8 months from now. Because that means Alpha 2 is a smash hit. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. I'm not going to lie. I kind of agree with them to an extent. The graphics were worse in A1, but the actual art aesthetic was better. A2 looks fine, I guess, but it definitely feels they're trying to capture the Asmongold enjoyer type of player. Huh. I don't know. I guess I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Well, Wizzy says your A1 art. Oh, God, yes. I forgot about the artwork. It's funny that I did that on such a whim, like as a total joke, and it has stuck. People talk about it. People remind me about it. They bring it up, not all the time, but frequent enough that I'm like, what the hell? And the problem is that, like, I could make that my thing, but there's, like, it only worked because we were under a visual NDA, but not a verbal NDA. It's the only reason that joke worked, and I don't know how to make it work as a part of my channel. It'd be nice. Big Quads on Campus says, copamine sounds like a disassociative. Vera's Gaming says, it's A2 launch day. You finally get through the queue and log in for the first time. What's something you do first? Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question. So, okay. We get through the queue and log in for the first time. Well, I mean, obviously the first thing we're doing is we're making a character. Obviously, that's the first thing that's going to happen. The indicators are we're not going to have the content creator, the character creator before Alpha 2. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But they didn't have it for this testing recently. So, I don't know. But either way, you're going to create a character. I will definitely make a Renkai tank first. A big hulking orc tank first will absolutely be where we start out. And then we will I mean, I guess you go out into the world, you start killing some stuff, and just start figuring out how the class works and getting used to the combat and the movement and what you do and the abilities and level up sometimes. Probably definitely put some points in some trees and then go kill some stuff and then go back into town and re-put your points in and go kill some stuff and like figure out what you like best as far as how the trees work. Go gather some stuff, because I've always been obsessed with crafting in games. So I guess we go gather some stuff. But man, I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. Like, I just want to be live streaming, all of you guys and more be hanging out with us, and we just run around and play the game. Like, that's all I really want. And then I suspect that after probably the first weekend or the first week or something like that, the first several days of like just letting people go, because people are going to want to go buck wild their first little bit of Alpha 2. They're going to start in with the actual testing. Today we're testing this. Don't go craft stuff. Go, do a node war or whatever they're wanting to test that day. And then that's when things will get interesting and we'll have more specific things that we're looking to do. After 1 year, it may be a good key. That's true. It'd be interesting if the keys just got more valuable as time went on. It's true. Wizzy McNasty says, FYI, he didn't actually break the NDA. It was just him trolling. Okay. That makes sense. Dr. Burns says, not a fan of neon teal hair that we saw in the last live stream. Yeah. The game's not for everybody, Dr. Burns. Zillan, this song makes me think about how bad these waits must be for PI because they know and still have to wait. I have thought about that. Like, a lot of the PI people, they've played and they've had a great time, and they all talked about how fun it was and how the trees work and the classes, feel good and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, but now we're just sitting around waiting for the next time for Intrepid to graciously invite us into their game. So yeah, that's true. Hindagaran says, I think when they release the content creators, I think you mean the content creator program, they will be giving away mini keys for people. I would suspect that the content creators that they select will be given a lot of keys to distribute out amongst their communities. Basically, the dudes who look like a lot of primary bright colors and the exaggerated proportions and faces, essentially WoW stands think that the only good art style is a cartoon-esque one. Has it gone more cartoon? Have I just not noticed that? I guess I didn't notice it. But they have pie. How can you be impatient when you have pie? Fupo, I think you're missing the point. They don't have the pie. That's the problem. They've had pie. Pie's fucking delicious, and they learned how good pie is, and now Intrepid's taking the pie away. They don't have pie. Sheeta, I'd run to the farthest reach and build up my empire. There you go. Go build your empire. That's funny. Premier says, yeah, no, I'm in the minority, but I like more realistic art styles in the game. The vast majority of gamers seem to prefer the super stylized type, so it is what it is. They had the character creator. They asked him not to use it for the stream. Oh. I thought they said they didn't have it. Nah, whatever. Can't keep up with every last word that every last person says, so yeah. Who do you want to PvP against the most in Alpha 2? You know what? It's funny, we were talking about some of this stuff in one of the Discords I was chatting in today. I'm going to start out as a tank and based on the traditional role of a tank, and then also what we were told about the tanks from the PI testers, they don't really kill things. they zone denial and protection and taunting, stunning, etc. But killing things is not really their forte. So I don't know who I guess I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about a lot of other things. Now, if I get in there and tank is and so I switch to fighter, which would be my next choice, and we start wrecking people's faces with fighter, I mean, I don't want to call anybody out. But look, I'm not gonna say who it is. There is one person who deserves to be destroyed in the community, and I won't say who it is, but his initials are Jamie Chaos. Okay, so I didn't call anybody out. Somebody said narc. Oops, I meant I was inhaling copamine earlier today, logging into WoW and realizing I hate it. Yeah, it's funny. Over the last 3 years, I have logged into and almost immediately logged out of a lot of MMOs. Like a lot of MMOs. And it's just like I realized that they just don't, there's just nothing there for me anymore. And I've actually reached a point in the last 6 or 8 months where I don't even try anymore. I don't download a game on Steam and log in and play it for 15 minutes and then uninstall it. Like, fuck it. I just don't even try anymore. None of these games, especially the MMOs, but even games in general, don't have much for me anymore. Except for the special few, like V-Rising was amazing and Valheim was amazing. Like, there's a few. Yeah. You, my first target. Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier, that there's so many content creators and we're all buddy and we talk and we have a content creator Discord that nobody knows about. A lot of people know about, but nobody's in. And we all communicate and collaborate and all that stuff together, but shit. You let my node be in a war with your node. I'm gonna kill you and not think twice about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh no. Oh, that's Dr. Burns over there. I don't want to hurt him. No. We're going straight to the back lines because Burns is a healer. We're going straight to the back lines and we're going to pester and annoy him and keep him from healing and win against his side. That's what we're going to do. And then Burns can just deal with it. Fane. Yeah. I haven't talked to Fane in a long time. I want to gank every YouTuber who said this was a scam or would never come out. That's pretty good. I like that. If that's the case for tanks, I'm stoked about it. I always like the tanks. The idea of tanks just essentially being a giant pain in the ass that's ridiculously hard to kill. So basically you just make yourself as much of a nuisance as possible. Yeah. It seems like from the what PI talked about. Vertec in particular said that he felt like he was hitting things with a wet noodle. Like there was just no real damage on his side. So. My first PIs told me two different PIs told me people were spending too much time at the start of tests trying to make characters, so they were told which 2 races to use and just use what comes up. Okay. So the character creator was there. Okay, that's better, because we were talking about that in a stream a couple weeks ago about if Alpha 2 was actually going to have the content. The character creator. Ooh, okay, I need to wake up. When A2 first launches, you're not doing shit except what Intrepid asks you to. There's no game yet. Penumbra, I agree with that for the most part, but I think those first few days they're going to let people go buck wild. Like, you imagine 150,000 people are logging in, sitting in queue for hours to get into Alpha 2, and as soon as you get in the game, Intrepid's like, no, don't do what you want to do, what you've been building up to for the last 4 years. Go do it. Like, that's Intrepid edging you big time. Big time. When A2 first out, Zillan wants to gank Jalon. I don't want to gank Jalon at all. I actually don't want to. I don't want to associate with him in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Like, he can just go over there and do what he does, and I'll hang over here, and do what I do. I'm also really curious if he's going to play the game at all. Like, he was so hardcore spit out of the Ashes community. I don't know. It's interesting. Are you talking about Star Wars Galaxies? I am not talking about Star Wars Galaxies. I played Star Wars Galaxies, but I didn't play Star Wars Galaxies. I was still obsessed with Dark Age of Camelot at the time when Galaxies was taking off. And by the time we finished Dark Age of Camelot, Galaxies had already experienced its downfall. I know there was a flight thing and something about Jedis, and you couldn't just make one, and then eventually you could just make one, and it pissed off the community, and the game kind of went downhill. I don't know, but yeah, I was playing Dark Age Camelot. Hasn't Intrepid been edging us all for a couple of years now? Yeah, but can you imagine if they let you into Alpha 2 and then on day one they're like, no, don't create a character, no tanks today, we're testing mages, and we're testing mages' effects on the battlefield in a no siege. So no running around, no leveling, no putting points in his skills, just go over there and fight each other over that siege. That's all you can do today. Or what if it's worse? We're testing gathering today. No combat. Just go gather shit. Y'all be so pissed off, man. A1, they kicked a couple of my friends out for PvP. Okay, they didn't kick them out, but they put them in a timeout with a warning of removing them from A1. Yep. I'm wondering how much PvP they're going to allow in the early parts of A2 when... Y'all got to think about this. There was somewhere between 10 and 15,000 A1 testers. Okay? And on A1, on the day of A1, there was 350,000 people watching the Ashes of Creation category in Twitch. A lot. There's well over 100,000 Alpha 2 testers. I bet you there's 1 million people watching Alpha 2 on day one. Do they want all the streamers getting ganked constantly? And 1 million people watching that? Probably not. So my guess is PvP will be... non-consensual PvP will be turned off at the start of Alpha 2. Ganking is content. I mean, it's true. It's true. And they're going to need to get used to it. But I wonder if Intrepid's like, you know what? Let's not have that unless the corruption system is fully implemented and good to go, and then you'd be showing people what the corruption system does, allows and doesn't allow, and how much ganking will exist and stuff with the corruption system. So maybe if the corruption system is fully in, which I don't know. My SWG comment was in reference to you saying you recently stopped playing tons of MMOs because you realized there was nothing there for you. Oh. No, I never went back to Star Wars Galaxies. I did try to go back to Vanguard Saga of Heroes because there's a emulated server or whatever for that game. I loved that game. God, I loved that game. But that emulated server is not good at all. Not good at all. But Vanguard was great, man. The crafting and gathering in that game, mwah, it was beautiful. I loved it. Zillan, no, come over here. Oh, trust me, I am coming. Oh my goodness. That's That's funny. God, I miss those DAOC days. Yep. Man, I have so many hours in Dark Age of Camelot. And that is the one MMO I played this year. I played the shit out of the Eden server, which is an emulated server for Dark Age of Camelot, where they have like new content and they're doing all kinds of things to like keep it fresh and keep it going. And even still to this day, some of the best PvP you can have is in Dark Age of Camelot. Like, they did it right more than 20 years ago, before World of Warcraft. Premier says, man, I loved Vanguard so fucking much. Me too. I also loved the class Vanguard in Star Wars The Old Republic. And just in case anyone is unaware, we're starting a petition. Jamie Chaos is actually heading the petition. He's the guy that's heading it. So if you want to get information about how you can get in on this, you should message Jamie and tell him that you're really interested in joining his petition to get the tank name changed to Vanguard for Ashes of Creation. So you guys should all message Jamie and let him know that you're really interested in that and you want to help support him. Lizzie McNash says, if the Rubber Band Plague still has a revival, PvP will most definitely be turned off. Well, yeah, no doubt about that. Rimnir says, I still maintain Vanguard has the best crafting system in any MMO before or since. Probably. I loved the crafting in Vanguard. I almost didn't even do anything else. I crafted so much in that game, I barely played the rest of the game. I also really liked the card game. What was it? Like, this is the social part of the game, because I know there was like adventuring, crafting, and politics or socials. It's a card game inside of the game, and I freaking loved it. Wizzy said, I can't bring myself to go back to Dayoc. Why not? What? Are you too good? Are you too good for an old school game? Imagina says DAOC forever. Yes, I still love it. I've been thinking about loading back into Eden the other day just because we had so much fun while we were there. Sheena says, for popular streamers, they will most likely have to hide their server. Thinking about the official release, I think they will either have to have bodyguards or not tell others what server they are on. Sheeta, while I do kind of agree with you, and definitely like just as a general concept, yes, but I don't think that it's even possible to really hide your server or really hide your information. Like, I just don't think... I don't think that it's possible. And then even worse, you could do like a delay so nobody would know exactly where you are at any given time, but now your chat is way behind. You can't keep up with, your chat's 15 minutes behind or whatever. I've heard some people talk about trying to delay not the chat, but the video itself.
Ready to serve, my lord.
Lagers, thank you for the follow. But yeah, I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know how that's gonna work. But I do not believe anybody is going to be able to keep their server a secret for any amount of time whatsoever. I think people are going to have to roll with bodyguards, and that's, nobody's going to stream snipe Asmongold. There's 500 people around him at all times. Now me, nobody on earth ever heard of, rolling around with my 6 friends. Yeah, probably gonna get stream sniped. Just got to deal with it. Lagers says, do you think Ashes should have just one server for a region, or like small servers? Well, the servers aren't going to be small because they're talking about a 50,000 total population cap with 10,000 concurrent. So 10,000 concurrent players on a server is a big-ass server. That's way bigger than like World of Warcraft servers, SWTOR, LOTRO, ESO, any of them. Way bigger. I don't think from a ping perspective and packet loss and all that stuff that's going on, I don't think it's possible to have, at least right now with current technology, a massive server without sharding. That's SHARDING, not sharting. without using shards. And then, we talked about this in a previous stream. If they do shards, I'm going to be very, very, very disappointed, and it's going to kill a lot of interest in this game for me. The whole point of this game being risk versus reward. He talks about it all the time. Risk, 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 risk. I do not want anybody, not one player, to be out in the world doing things that are going to advance their character and potentially advance their character beyond my character, and them not be in the world and available to be killed. That's just how I feel about it. So now they have said they're not going to do shards, so I don't think they're going to do shards, but I think that's the only way to have, like you said, one server per region. Otherwise it's not possible. So no, they're not going to do that. Whether it's a good idea or not, I don't know, but it's not going to happen. So it'll be small servers, and I suspect they're going to start out with a lot of shards, a lot of servers. Wizzy says, I'm probably too bad to go back to DAOC. Granny Gamer can't game no more, bro. No, it's real simple, Wizzy. I got you. Just go back. Go Hib. There's a leader for the Eden server. It's free. Go Hib. And there's a leader, and I can't remember his name, but if you hang out there at all, you'll learn his name. And the Hibs outnumber the other two by like 2-1. And so they just raffle stomp both sides all day, every day, nonstop, left and right. So yeah, go back and get it done. Then it doesn't matter how good you are. You just roll with the Zerg. My brain still has AOC as Age of Conan in it, despite Ashes. I have to stop it whenever I see those three letters. Yeah, that's what that and the congressman lady is why they don't use AOC. They use Ashes, and they have said they want it to be Ashes. Trevor Wilson jumps in with a connection. Oh man, haven't seen you in a long time, bro. Hope you're doing all right. Trevor, I used to play flag football with Trevor back a long, long time ago. God, it's been like 15 years, bro. Long time. Long time. Thanks for stopping in, though. So lots of people jumping in, saying they'd hate shards. That they're not doing shards. Don't like the concept of sharding. Yes, yes. She just says, I think it's for those people who think it's funny and or just want to get on-screen attention. And that's I never understood why anyone would want to follow Asmongold around. It seems like a waste of game time. Seriously, I don't understand. Every time I see it, I'm like, what are they doing? But then I remember that, think about how dumb the average person is and now realize half of them are dumber than that. And there you go. Feels like a cheap method for games to do sharding. Yes. Patrick says, what server Asmongold is on? I'm avoiding it. Once he decides to move on to another game, that server will crumble. Yep. Now, the question is, will Ashes of Creation be so damn good, so awesome, that Asmongold sticks around, that Shroud sticks around, that Ninja sticks around, Bustin, Wolfheart, I understand those other guys are way bigger than the last two I just named, but like mid-tier guys, gigantic ones, all of it, if they all stick around. Now you got a server that like, does the whole server gang up against Asmongold? Is that the only way he can be beat? Is he the king of all 5 fucking castles? I don't know. Just spitting it out there. Why is that stuck there? That's weird. Glitches her T-Swizzle Life cardboard stand-up. Life-size cardboard stand-up. Okay. Sharding is fine for MMO that doesn't care about conflict over areas. Correct. Alright, you're exactly correct. I don't care about shards in World of Warcraft or Star Wars or whatever. But this game, everybody who's accomplishing anything is potentially getting ahead of you or your node or your group or your guild or whatever. So they're risking that, so they should be out there. I'm agree with you completely. Trevor says, "Doing good, brother. Hope you're doing well, also, man." Yeah, life is beautiful, man. Life is beautiful. 100%. Once he quits, the server will most likely be dead. About Asmongold. Yep. They should do AOC strip the Congresswoman of all name recognition with a game that doesn't even exist. Okay. I don't even know what that means. Hidden Dagger says, I think Asmongold will stay around. Levi says, money beats good game. So you're saying he gets more money by switching from game to game to game? And he definitely gets paid by games to switch to their game for a couple days or whatever. Maybe. Asmongold will not like XP debt at all. Yeah. I actually have a video idea that I never wrote the script for it, but I had an idea of what I wanted to say. I just never got around to it. And it was going to be called something like Can WoW Brain Be Cured? And it was going to have like a picture of me with a surgical mask holding a scalpel on the thumbnail, and then like one with Asmongold with his brain coming open and a World of Warcraft symbol inside of there, and talk about all the things that like the World of Warcraft players, that's all they've ever fucking known, and so they're just not ready for any kind of new experiences. But I never made it. Maybe I should one day. Honestly, I can see it happening. They may not stream it all the time or for months on end, but I know Asmon plays a shit ton of games off stream. Hell, that crazy bastard has like 3K hours in New World and almost none of it is on stream. Damn. Somebody playing New World for 3K hours, just kind of like, what could he have been doing during that time? That game's not that fun. Ashes is the antithesis of all that Asmon likes. I mean, I think that's... Yeah. Lagur says, what do you think will happen if Ashes has lots of hype and they have to create a lot of servers at launch? Will it be like New World after a while with merges? Let me tell you, we had a huge conversation on this stream about 2 weeks ago on server merges. And this is not for Alpha 2. Let me be clear. This is not, I'm not talking about Alpha 2. Alpha 2, they could merge damn servers every day. I don't care. Whatever. When this launch gets here, I've thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and given it as much thought as I could possibly give it. And I have come to one of two conclusions. And only those two. I would love for somebody to give me a different conclusion. Something else that could potentially happen. I got one of two. Either they have to have a crazy amount of queues to get into the game. And I'm talking about... Steven told me 3 years ago, the night before Alpha 1 starts, Steven told me they had 7 million accounts signed up on the Ashes of Creation website. That was 3 fucking years ago. The queues will be crazy on day one. Or they can have a boatload of servers and have a boatload of server merges and piss a whole lot of people off when they merge servers. Because in Ashes of Creation with the node system, merging servers is not going to be something as simple as our biggest complication is these two players both have the same name. Who gets it? Because whatever, you just type the name in. Maybe you spent years as that person. You put a couple extra letters somewhere and boom, you're off to the races. It's out of the... But in Ashes of Creation, me and my guild, we went out to this node. We worked our asses off for 6 months. We've been grinding on this node, grinding it up to level 5. We beat out several other nodes in the process to make them our vassal, to lock them underneath us so that we can continue on our way. We're a patron, our guild is a patron of that node, a patron guild of that node. Our guild leader is the mayor of that node. Now you're merging us into a bigger server, and the bigger server is the one who's getting to keep all their stats and stuff. So all that work is eliminated. Gone. Fucking deleted. People are going to be pissed. I would be so fucking furious. I'd be mad. But I'd also be mad as hell to be sitting in a queue for 12 hours on day one. So someone tell me what options they have other than people quitting because the queues are 12 hours or people quitting because they ruined 6 months worth of their work. I would love if somebody presented me a different option there. Lud says he liked New World though because it's a grind where you don't need to stress too much. Ashes will be super stressful for anyone even slightly famous. It's true. True story. Yeah, but it won't be for him. He will have a bodyguard detail 24/7. No shot he gets ganked or harassed into oblivion. I mean, for the most part, I don't think Asmon's going to have to worry about getting ganked. I don't think. But is he like, in order to achieve though, you're going to have to like there a level of organization is. You're going to have crazy organization, logistical skills. Maybe he has those and I don't know. But from what I can tell, he that's not how he plays the game. So he's not going to like be running castles and stuff unless he, I don't know, puts together. I don't know. It's crazy. Or is he going to just do it on sheer numbers? Blame the players for leaving. Hindagger In says, yeah, merging servers will be difficult. That's why at launch, I hope they slowly get servers up to fully populate them, and the early registration should help with that. Do you really think that the early registration is going to help with that? I don't know how that helps. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think either you have a lot of servers or you don't have many servers, and both of them have huge problems. And I don't know what the solution is. Lots of merging. My idea so far has been make queues fun to be in. So far, the best I could come up with is a siege location where people in queue go against each other in a semi-progressed character of their chosen archetype. They learn their archetype, have a ton of fun in the siege, and spend time. I mean, that's definitely not the worst idea I've heard. You have small temporary servers, so you're not worried about that you're opening up servers just for them to need to be merged later. You have those servers be almost like an APOC style castle siege or whatever. And you're just waiting for your turn in the queue, and you're getting to play a semi-progressed character. I mean, that's really not a bad idea. That's really not. It might be the best option, a best of a bunch of really, really bad options. Keep the servers full and you don't got to worry about mergers. Yeah. People are going to leave though, bro. Ide says, I think it's just the nature of the beast kind of thing. Not much you can do. Best thing I heard is giving server an in-game event, at least gamify it. Game like giving server merges an in-game event. Because I've heard some people suggest like letting the small servers have some big crazy thing, and if they can overcome it, they get to keep their server, kind of thing. I know people don't like them, but maybe they can transfer their character on a fresh server and do some kind of arcade land rush. Not ideal. You know, I mean, you still are losing the time you spent. It's not as bad as getting merged into another server and the time you spent not only is gone, but you can't even get back what you had because now there's already people their guilds are already patrons of the node, and they have already kind of controlled the node in the area and all that stuff. But you still lose everything. Man, I guess you could. It's a logistical nightmare. No. God, I don't see. I mean, I guess that's better, but I would still be pissed off that I lost everything we'd spent 6 months working on. And imagine it's 60, 80, 90, 150, 300 people who lost what they spent 6 months working on. How many people are going to quit? How many people are going to say, fuck y'all, you ain't never getting me to come back and put my credit card into your fucking form ever again after you just completely nullified 6 months of my hard work. You can go fuck yourself. Like, there's people who are going to have that attitude, I guarantee it. Asmon is 100% getting ganked, ninja looted, and backstabbed. Really? With that many people around? Doesn't he have, like, people that just hang around and protect him all the time? All right, fuck, I don't know. Good night, Wizzy. Zillin, for release, I'd rather have more servers then have something like what happened to Last Epoch. Though, isn't there early access for release? Am I remembering wrong? So it might be like the D4 release situation. I know there's some type of a pre-registration, early arrivers, people get to go a little early situation, but I don't know what it is. Because of these choices we have, the only thing that comes to mind is having mega servers for Ashes, but I understand that 10K is a very high number. Yeah, there's no way to do mega servers. It's just, 10K, they're all mega servers. If you really look at it, 10K is a lot of fucking people on a server. LOL, if you want to see Asmon's community logistical skills, go watch the vids from a month or two ago of his fans building quasi Minas Tirith in PAX Day in 72 hours. Okay, so they'll be fine. Is that what you're saying? He's gonna be the mayor of all 5 Metropolis nodes and the leader of all 5 castles and run the entire map by himself, or not by himself, but with his crew. They had literal civil engineers directing people in the game. Son of a bitch. That's hilarious. Yeah, getting people to go where they want to go, and they will know right away if they can fit their guilds or not. I think only small servers should be merged together, maybe 3 or 4 of them, and just restart the server for everyone. See, they didn't say that. They said that big servers were going to absorb small servers, and they were going to try to have the state of those servers be as close to similar as possible, so then which nodes are leveled and stuff like that would all be similar. But Wizzy says, make good choices. I'm out too, Penumbra says, later Gators. Isn't it just the same as losing your high-level node in game? People can be mad, but it's part of the game. Get refugee status and move on. I would say it's not the same thing. You didn't lose your node because someone like sieged your node and you actually lost. You lost your node because Intrepid just said, hey, fuck you, we're out. You're out, you're done. The Tavern! Thank you for the raid, y'all. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't think that's the same at all. You losing your node in a siege is not the same as Intrepid saying, hey, we're merging your node and your status as mayor and your guild status as a patron node of the guild of patron guild of the node and all that is, yeah, not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. Mr. Noobtastic, thank you for jumping in the chat. I know we're somewhat joking about him being the mayor of all 5 nodes, but 100% I would bet money that whatever server he is on, his guild will be the first to have a tier 5 node. Or tier 6 node. Yeah. No, no, you're right. You're right. Asmongold will definitely have the first max level node of Ashes of Creation. And he'll be the mayor of it too. You can bet your ass. You can bet your ass. That's for sure. Vertec, how did y'all stream go over there? What were y'all talking about? Mr. Noobtech says, "Oh yeah, that's set in stone." Yeah, exactly. We've been over here talking about server merges, server size, whether or not they should be sharding or not, and that's sharding, not sharting. Very much different thing. Oracle the White says, "I think I have a solution for server mergers." Oracle, I need you to hit me with that solution because I still only see the 2 real options, and both of them suck real bad. Levi says, mass monster coin event. The smaller server citizens get a free coin. The server starts from where the dust lies. I mean, there are a lot of solutions that create relatively fun and compelling gameplay to mask the fact that Intrepid says, we don't care that you spent 6 months, you and your 264 friends spent 6 months of your lives grinding your asses off to build up this node, to beat the other nodes to the higher level status so that you lock them out and to become the patron guild and to become the mayor. We're taking all that away in a blink. All of it just masks that. So I need something that doesn't just mask that. We've been talking about sharding and edging for the most part. Yes we have. Is being a patron guild of a node in a dying server much of an accomplishment? Eyes, that is a very good question that was brought up earlier, and I don't know. It's a good damn question. Maybe, but somebody even pointed out it could be an advantage. If there's not many people on the server, that means there's not very much competition for the world bosses. And so you and your group get to kill the world bosses over and over again. And when you do inevitably get merged into another server, you have lots and lots of materials and high-level bosses or high-level gear and gear with special bonuses on it and all that shit. Like, there could be an advantage to it if you really sit back and think about it. Mr. Noob Tech says, I don't see how mergers can't suck for the small server, and that's exactly how I feel. There's no scenario where that doesn't just like it makes my blood boil just thinking about it. Just thinking about if Intrepid comes to me and tells me, fuck your 6 months worth of work. I'm gonna be so pissed off. So I can't go to a dying server. We can't let that happen. Vertex says it went well. They played some Guild Wars 2 and chatted asses the whole time. Hell yes. I've been thinking about playing some Wilder Myth or something like that on the stream while streaming. Sheeta says, "Oh, that would be cool. And the lore would be that the smaller server is invading the larger one and may even take over nodes that way." Yeah. Another thing that was suggested was just if you're merging one developed node into another developed node, they have a node war for it right off the bat. As soon as the server starts, boom, you're in a node war. And then you actually do lose your node, and then that actually makes sense, and maybe that's the route you go. The Vera and the destroyed server was just an illusion, and when your server gets yeeted, you awake to find yourself returning to Vera in a new world. Pocket, ban yourself for saying the words New World and Vera in the same chat. Natamia says, I guess I would rather be merged than keep putting time in a dead server. Would you? Would you rather lose all that work? I don't know. I played on Bedrock Colony, a dying server, for years and years and years. in SWTOR. A world extinction event. They awoke a Balrog they couldn't defeat, and he engulfs the world in flames. Hemner says, I guess they could have a week of a Ark Survival Evolved official server style cancerous gameplay and just let people raid other servers until everything is razed to the ground. That's not what I was thinking, but okay. Oracle says a special node war where each fights for the node they were in to decide who's going to control the node. That's exactly what I just said. Yes, Oracle, that might be the best solution. That might be the best solution that we have available to us. I'm going to say I officially now have 3 options that I see, and that's one of them. And probably the best one. Well done, Oracle. Well done. Nemesis, what's going on, man? They are usually OP. LOL, didn't even catch the New World, and I didn't mean that. Yeah, Pocket, you're better than that, man. Or you're supposed to be. It seems I am not the only one with that solution. Yeah, it's pretty good though. Now it sucks if that node is, home to 1,400 people on the big server, and it's home to 343 people on your server. That might be a problem. Viral Gaming is now following. Thank you, appreciate you. Thanks for joining the Zillagers. Matamia says, I was under the impression that we might keep our gear. I would say 100% you would keep your gear. Nemesis, thank you for the follow. I would think you would absolutely keep your gear. I would hope that you would keep your whole bank. You're coming into a new, already established server. Everybody's got shit and you got nothing, and you got fucked out of everything you put. No. Why y'all getting me fired up? Y'all are pissing me off just talking about getting merged into another server. Oh, shit. Pocket says I forgot about that game. Yeah, it's good. Good move. Put them all on huge ships with all their refunded mats and coin from the node they lost, invulnerable to attack for a set amount of time, and give them time to find a home. While that's not a bad solution, the only hiccup in that game plan is that all of the nodes in the entire map would already at that point be locked
Ready to serve,
from
my lord.
development by nodes underneath them. So they could find a home, but it's going to be locked. And so they're going to be stuck. They're still going to have to like seed someone's node down to get back to where they were. Rockies, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to the Zillagers. Other than that, I like it. That's really not a bad solution. Premier says, okay, guys, I've just figured out the solution. Whichever guilds have conflicting nodes, both guilds have all of their players' models replaced with Hello Kitty Online style models. And then it's just a matter of waiting for who blinks first and rage quits, and then they merge. I mean, some people just want to watch the world burn. Remnir, that's you. And yeah, how do you do a war between a Metro and a level 3 node in the same location? Yes. Yes. Now, like I said, they did say that they wanted to merge similarly developed maps or servers together, but the point of the fact that it's a dying server means it's not going to have as many developed nodes. So there are definitely going to be nodes that are level 3 that are getting merged into level 5, for example. And you're talking about hundreds of players. So that's really, really tough. Being in a dying server might mean you can't overcome the atrophy to even get a Metro. Not sure. It's true. It's very true. And you might be right that there might be a point. It might eventually get to a point where you can... It's actually just worth it to start all the way back over again, lose all the work, everything you put into it, to be on a server where things are actually happening. Max level nodes can happen. You actually can have some of these things, because you're right, there may be a point where you literally can't have. It's not mathematically possible to have access to everything that would be accessible on a server. Like, for example, not being able to get a level 6 node. What if if there's no Metropolises on your map? There's world bosses that won't spawn. You don't have any of the Metropolis level secret abilities, like, for example, the big PvE dungeon that Steven talked about as a possibility for the religious node. So, yeah. Premier says, guilty as charged. It's funny. Potentially hundreds of people against maybe a few dozen. Yep. First time chatter, Trevex says, how about we just avoid the whole thing by not spawning a bunch of servers at the start? That we talked about this a little bit before the raid from the tavern came in. If you don't... So this is a crazy story. I still think this is just so crazy. Steven himself pinged all of the A1 backers the day before Alpha 1 came out. I want to say it was the day before Alpha 1 came out. Might have been a day or two. At 4 a.m. American time. And was like, hey, anybody up? I want to test something. Jump in a channel. And so at 4 a.m., like 50 people jumped into a Discord voice channel that Steven was in. He was talking to us. What he wanted to do was test the EU server before Alpha 2, because we'd all been testing the NA server. No one had actually tested the EU server, so he wanted to test it, make sure it worked and stuff. So he was talking, and a lot of things were going on. And one of the things he told us in that group is that over 7 million people had signed up for a free account on the website 3 years ago. This was 3 years ago. It's probably 9 or 10 million people now. There's going to be a crazy number of people trying to log into Ashes of Creation on launch day. A crazy number. Also, keep in mind, you couple in the fact that there's no box cost. It's $15 to give this shit a try. Yeah, MMO players are going to come flock to it. It's going to be crazy. If you don't have very many servers, the queues are going to be wild. 12-hour queues. You're going to set your shit to log on when you go to work. You're going to come back from work and still have 3 hours to go. You're going to go make dinner, come back and still have an hour and a half to go. You're going to do bath time with the kids, get them all put down, read them a book, and come back in with 5 minutes still you have to wait. And now you have to go to bed in 2 hours. They can't do too few servers. And then you have the opposite problem if you do too many servers. You have to merge a whole bunch of servers, and then everybody who gets merged into a servers and loses all their progress is going to be pissed off, at least to a certain degree. And so you're dealing with that. So like it's a problem on both sides. Lud says, gotta go to bed. See y'all next time. Thank you, man. Thanks for hanging out and chatting. And then, yes, Henry says, because if the game had 4.5 day long queues at launch, it would get memed into failure. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my God. Can you even imagine the memes? The game would be dead. The game would be dead on launch day. What about taking multiple dead servers and moving them all to a new singular server? You still lose your progress. That suggestion has been brought up, or variations of that suggestion. You still lose your progress. That's what sucks. Bound to lose population after launch, like all games do. Exactly. You are. Classic WoW day one queues with auto clickers, etc. Yep. Except for bigger. I think it'd be bigger than that. Got to queue up on Monday so I can play on the weekend. Yes. Leave it. Travic says there's a problem with your logic. Look at EVE Online. Okay. Fill me in. I mean, I've played EVE. I don't see any way that changes things, but okay. Raid now. First time chatter. Thanks for chatting, man. Have the worlds have an ultimate showdown. Node wars for control, then merge the populations. And again, they have said what their plan is to merge small nodes into large nodes. Not nodes, servers. Small servers will get absorbed by big servers. So now you have a node war or a massive server war between a server that has a population of 48,000 and a server that has a population of 9,000. Who's going to win? 48,000 every single time. It's effectively the same thing as just wiping them out. Pocket says, I remember on some opening day, I brought my laptop to work and started my login queues from a hotspot at 11 a.m. and kept it logging in on my commute home so that I only had to wait like 1 hour at the house. I got logged in, yes. And it would be worse. It would be worse if they don't put out enough servers. Travic says EVE Online is estimated to have 10 million total players or subscribers. Active player count is typically 20K on one massive server, and it goes up to 40-50 player concurrently. It can be done. Travic, I would like to see something that says that EVE has 10 million subscribers. I don't think that's... that would make it a significantly bigger game than World of Warcraft is. Like, wasn't World of Warcraft at like 12 or 13 million subscribers at its peak? Like at the highest of the high when it was like the big deal? Also, the only reason EVE can have that many players on a server concurrently is through sharding, and you do not want sharding. Well, EVE doesn't have sharding. How do they have 40 or 50K concurrent? I don't know about that. Daily players, 98,000. EVE Online is estimated to have 98,648 players per day this month. That's 100,000, not 10 million. I could be wrong. I just don't think that's right. instance battle with all the mayors fighting it out. I like the idea of one-on-one combat between the mayors, because then numbers don't matter. That's actually not a bad idea. The two mayors just battle it out. The winner of the duel gets to be the mayor. I love that. I love that. Ribner says people who play EVE are literally deluded. That game has at best 150k active players, and most of them have 2 to 4 accounts each. I do know for a fact that most people have a bunch of accounts in Ashes of Creation. And Mogenus says different regions of space on different servers. And yeah, I was thinking that as I was saying it. I was like, they're not actually on one server. It's like a mega server situation or whatever, which is easier to pull off when you're actually doing loading screens between, like the warping between star systems and stuff. Hyde says nodes of 10 people take over metros of thousands because the mayor wins a duel. Yes. I love it. Oh, I absolutely love it. Sure, but Steven has 9 million potential accounts, not 9 million players. I mean, yeah, for sure. I agree that there are definitely some multiple accounts in there. But even if 3 million of those people show up on launch day, like, no game has 3 million people logging in on it. It's as simple as that. There is not a game currently today that has 3 million people trying to log on to the servers at one time. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing. So there's your difference. There's not a game that has 1 million. Maybe WoW. I don't know. I don't know WoW's numbers. I don't pay any attention to WoW. Mr. Noobsazzy says, I'd pay-per-view to watch that one. Oh, man. Speaking of pay-per-view, Iron Warrior says 6 to 7 million subs right now on WoW. Okay, yeah. Roar, can you confirm that it was like 13 million or something like that at the height? I can't remember what the number was. But I wanted to say it was like a slightly above 10 million at the crazy time when everybody was playing WoW. Yeah, yes, for WoW. So yeah, you have 6 to 7 million subs in WoW right now. I wonder what their daily active logins, 14 million. I thought it was in that range. So I'm going to call it out right now. If WoW had 14 million subscribers at its height, EVE ain't got no fucking where near 10 million subscribers. Not even fucking close to 10 million subscribers. That is a complete fabricated bullshit number. I'm calling it right now. It was around 14, and about 1/3 of that of the way into Wrath of the Lich King, and then started cratering. Yes. Just checked Helldivers 2 as a recent one, about 500,000 pink. That game's servers got rough. There you go. Like, people don't understand the number of tricks that developers have figured out to have lots of people on the same server. They're not on the same server. There's various tricks that they've done to make that happen. And in a game like Ashes of Creation, and I said this earlier today, I do not want anyone who is out in the world on my server collecting resources, killing things, getting experience, doing anything that progresses their character, and them not be in the world visible for anyone else on the server to attack and kill and take their shit or stop their progress or whatever. I don't even plan on being the one who's running around and doing that, but I want all of them to have to deal with that risk. Rain Down, thank you. Rain Down, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. That's just, I don't want anybody to deal with that. As simple as that. If you're out progressing your character, you should be at risk by everyone else on your server. As soon as you start doing the multi-server thing and the sharding thing and all that stuff, it's everybody's on the same server, but it's fake. It's fake. It's not real. I'm telling you, people really don't understand how big the locust swarm of hype train chasing gamers are nowadays. The game situation has been so rough for so long, people will descend on any new game that looks even remotely promising en masse. 100%. Remnir, you are dead accurate. I remember getting asked a question during that content creator summit that the Golden Feather did, and the question was something like, "What does Ashes of Creation need to do to build the hype?" Or that wasn't the exact question, but that was the question. And I was just like, nothing. The entire MMO world is going to fucking come play Ashes of Creation. They're all coming. All he needs to do is build a MMO. It doesn't need to be an incredible MMO. It doesn't need to be the best MMO that ever existed. It doesn't need to be the prettiest MMO. It doesn't need to be the MMO with the best systems, the most classes, none of that shit. Build a new MMO and the entire MMO world is going to come play it. Will they stay? That's going to be dependent on all the other things that I just said. All that other shit. Is it good? Is it pretty? Does it have classes? Does it have races? Is it content good? All that. But new MMO, the entire MMO people are coming. And like I said, that's even compounded on by the fact that there is no box cost. They're not going to have to spend $60 and then put in their credit card to get into this game. $15. $15. Download the game. $15 and you're in. Everybody's going to try Ashes of Creation. It's up to Ashes of Creation to be fucking incredible and then keep those people. That's what Ashes of Creation needs to do. By the way, Mr. Newtastic, in the middle of my rant, you followed. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. Said, didn't realize I wasn't following when I have been in here before. Hey, man, it is what it is. I appreciate the follow, though. I really do. I have noticed that a lot of people that I know for a fact were following me in A1 are having to follow me again now. And all of them are like, I don't know what happened. And I'm like, you know what happened. But I think there may have been some mistake. There was some unfollowing that happened. Twitch did it. DJ Vertex says, what PvE mechanics do you think could be introduced to interfere with PvP activities? That is a very, very interesting choice of words, Mr. Vertex. That is a very interesting choice of words. Interfere with it. And I'm assuming you're using that word specifically because when you are PvPing, anytime you are forced into PvP in that is PvPers interfering with what you're doing. So you want PvE to interfere with PvP. That is interesting. I would make an argument that at least to some degree they've already shown a version of that. And that would be during the castle sieges with the dragons. So if the PvPers are just like, har har har, PvP, I kill you and make you feel bad and teabag you, and ignore the dragons, and just say, whatever, we don't care about those stupid dragons. That's stupid PvE. Those stupid PvEers. I don't even know why they play our game. They should get the fuck out. Go kill that dragon over there. And then you go over there as the PvE crowd, and you kill the 3 dragons, let's say, as the defenders. Now the PvPers on your side are going to absolutely mop the floor with the other PvPers. You have interfered with their PvP play with your PvE play. Same thing with node wars and siege wars and stuff. If they have PvE objectives and one side ignores them, then the PvEers have interfered with what the PvPers are doing because they've caused a flip of a win. I think that's probably the best example I can think of, like just right off the top of my head. Hidden Dagger and says, I mean, hell, some people are even excited for PAX Day and Quinfall. I don't know why. Quinfall is a scam, and PAX Day is a sort of kind of MMO, sort of kind of survival game destined for MMO ambiguity into perpetuity. Mr. Newtax said low entry to try is a huge deal. Very big deal. Hidden Dagger says, give me a brothel that will distract me from PvP. But then PvP can interfere with that PvE, thus not a pure interference. I mean, PvP can interfere with that, but I'm just saying that's how you could use PvE to interfere with PvP. But you're right that it's a little bit of both. Kill Goblin King for the Minotaurs, and the Minotaurs fight for you in their area. I like that. And then you put still PVX, and I would like to point out that it's supposed to be a PVX game. So that, like, it's supposed to be a PVX game. I like that concept a lot. PvE objective to get tough NPCs to attack the enemy. That's not a bad idea. Like, you go over there, if you manage to win some fight against the Goblin King, like they said, and now kill the Goblin King for the Minotaurs? For the Minotaurs, okay, and now the Minotaurs will fight for you in their area. So now the PvPers are getting bum rushed by lots of NPC controlled Minotaurs, and so now their PvP is being interjected upon by PvE. That's not bad. There's probably some like kinks to work out in that, but I don't hate that. That's not bad. Wild PvE attracted to open PvP battles could mix it up. I wouldn't say I'm excited about PAX Day, but I think there is a path for them to something good. Rimir, you're gonna have to lay out that path, brother, because I don't see it. I don't see it. It's got trash monetization. It has no identity whatsoever. It's gonna be stuck in New World purgatory where it doesn't know what the fuck it is, and so it can't cater to any player base. I don't see it. I want to. I want more good MMOs. PAX Day ain't one, and by that I mean an MMO, because it's a survival game. Zillan, I came up with a solution to the server issue, but it is a little complex, so read it word for word. Okay. Will Ashes have difficult PvE content like WoW, or will it be difficult dungeons with the quotations like in New World? I will tell you that as a hardcore raider, I have been a PvP, hardcore PvPer for years and years, progression raid leader. I don't see any context on Earth in which the PvE is difficult in Ashes of Creation. None. I hate that. I think there are ways that they could put difficult PvE in the game without it affecting the world. I haven't heard anything from Intrepid that tells me that that's the direction they're going to go. I think the PvE in this game is going to be an absolute fucking joke. A face roll, a Zerg fest. It's not going to be about the PvE. And that is one of my... my very first video was called Top 5 Ways Ashes of Creation May Fail. Number 1 was ignoring PvE content. So there you go. I've been saying this for 4 years. Ignore the PvEers at your own peril. Hopefully, I'm wrong. And they just haven't talked about it yet. But they have plans. But the games that they're trying to copy, Lineage 2, Arcade, trash PvE. Just absolute fucking trash PvE. That's probably what we're going to get. Raidnown says, Dota style battle in MMO Node Wars. I guess I don't play Dota, so I don't know what that means. I don't know what that word. Vertex says, yeah, but right now it is PvP versus PvE and PvP versus PvE, but no PvE versus PvP at all. Again, it's PvX. You're supposed to be blending it all together. That's what I think. That's what I've seen. They're trying to blend it together so that there is no pure PvE and there is no pure PvP. There is no PvP in the game. None that they've announced. None, zero, that doesn't have PvE in it. None. So it's like arena. Have they officially announced that they're going to have arenas? And if they are going to have arenas, is it going to give gear? Okay, they're going to have instance arenas. Okay, fine. That's the one thing that you can go do PvP and not be interrupted. As long as that doesn't give you gear, I don't give a shit. Let the PvPers go kill each other. I don't give a fuck. As long as it doesn't give gear. Or the best gear. Who gives a shit if they have an arena to go play in? Difficult. Let me go back up. We put the smaller, lesser servers in special concentration servers, and they have to. Nope, not reading that. Not reading it, Levi. You can. Nope. I think it will start out PvE light and be adjusted per feedback in A2. The only reason I disagree with that is hardcore PvE is built from the ground up. It's not tacked on. So I don't know. Like, I think they would need to already be doing that. We'll see. Maybe they are, and that's the hope. Is that they haven't told us yet. Difficult PvE will only be possible in their instance arenas. Gotta see what they do with those. The instance stuff is for story content. They've already said that. So 20% of raids and dungeons will be instanced, and that will be so that you can go kill the big bad of the current storyline and finish the story without being ganked by other players, or the possibility of being ganked by other players. A competitive, sweaty PvP combat addict can spend their entire top-level experience without touching PvE. Disagree completely, 100%. Same level of a sweaty PvE person literally cannot do anything outside of questing without touching PvP, trying to brainstorm ideas to balance it out. Yeah, I disagree 100% that a competitive, sweaty PvP combat addict can spend their entire top-level experience without touching PvE. Now, if arenas give the best gear in the game, then you'd be right, but I strongly suspect that they won't, because that's not the design. You're not risking anything. You're risking nothing. So why would Steven reward you? Zillion, you may not remember, but you actually made a video responding to a comment I made on a previous YouTube video on that exact topic, PvE versus PvE, etc. My YouTube handle is Katark. Oh, you are Katark. Oh, okay. Yes, I did. I did make a video about that. As long as instance arenas don't doesn't progress your tune, the balance is restored. Yes, but also PvP can absolutely destroy a node. PvE might maybe impact it if the PvP folks let it happen. I disagree. Node sieges and node wars have PvE components. And if you have a strong PvE base that's going out there and doing all those quests and supplying the node and on and on and on, it's going to be hard for the PvPers to just take it over without using PvE on their own. Both sides are going to need PvEers. Like I said, there is no system in the game, not a single fucking one, that advances things that is just PvP. There is not one. I don't care about gear. I just want fun PvE progression. Just me, though. Yes, I would 100% do hardcore progression style, mythic raiding, World of Warcraft style gameplay, even if there was no gear. If it was just the progression side of it. I mean, from a difficulty level, yeah, that's the whole thing, though. We just don't yet. The blending thus far is limited to PvE folks. Go hunt open world bosses, teehee. PvP folks, go kill them all. Yeah. I agree with you. Yes. What else could there be? I just don't know what else you could do. They've given the they have given PvE players something to do while PvP is going on that actually affects the PvP. Directly affects the PvP. No other game in history has done that I'm aware of. So I don't see the problem. And let me remind you, I'm not a PvPer. I fucking hate PvP. I'm a PvE guy. But I understand what they're trying to do here. At least I think I do. If raid boss rooms don't have locked doors or whatever, I'm guessing there will be enough outcry from the PvE crowd that they change it. That's one of the pillars. Risk versus reward. You're risking your stuff by going into that room and killing that boss. Potentially getting a big reward. So there has to be risk. I don't know. I think they've played with that idea, but I'm very interested to see where that goes. How are they required to do PvE content? You can make plenty of money PvPing in caravans and harvesting from gatherers. When you're in the middle of a node war, like they showed, there was stuff for PvEers to go do. And also, this is a kind of a Steven response, but if you're going to go out there and kill caravans and harvesting from gatherers, so killing gatherers, you're gonna deal with the corruption system. It's risk for you. I mean, but in the node wars, PvEers have stuff they have to do during the node wars to make it even. There's coins in the packs that allow you to control PvE bosses to attack nodes, so I'm sure that they can do it without being controlled. I don't know if it's only quest-driven stuff. I've seen Steven comments about having instance fights in dungeons. Yes, he has said that the instance stuff is for story stuff. And yes, you will have fights in dungeons, instanced. But it's because there's going to be a big boss of the whatever current storyline, whatever the current story is. There's going to be a boss. And so they want you to be able to complete the story without getting ganked. So the boss of that story is going to be an instance boss inside of a dungeon. They can make PvE difficult for only people who like to progress in the future after launch, but only for those who like to complete. But the items to do this have to be earned by risk versus reward. Yes, totally agree. And no gear. Or maybe gear, but not top level gear. The top gear has to come from situations where you are blending PvE and PvP, in my opinion. Like I said in that comment, heavily PvP-focused MMOs shit the bed and shit the bed hard. New World was the most recent example. They had to scramble to put in PvE content, which is why it's all simple face roll content, because their player base was cratering so hard. 100% yes. You cannot ignore the PvEers. This is what happens. They're all the same. The PvEers and PvPers all get in the game. They're all playing. They segregate the two communities, or they either force them together or force them apart. They either say, there is no switch to toggle off PvP. PvP is always on. The PvPers can't help themselves from just raffle stomping the PvEers, teabagging on them, shitting on them, telling them how fucking terrible they are, you're complete garbage, trash, uninstall the game, kill yourself, blah, 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 blah. And they all quit. PvEers all leave and quit the fucking game. And then the PvPers kill each other. And then after like 3 months to 6 months of killing each other, they start complaining, I've killed the same person 7,500 times and I'm poor now and I don't know what to do. I fucking made this problem myself and now I'm going to whine, bitch, and cry about it. It's the same every time. Or they force them apart. They put in the little toggle switch. You can be PvE, you can be PvP, you don't have to. And then the PvPers get bored because there's nobody to raffle, stomp, and gank and kill and make feel bad and grief. And the PvEers get bored because they tack on the bullshit, shitty PvE that they always do. And then they leave and then you end up with a dead game. So either way, you fucked up. And that's why Ashes of Creation, and I've been saying this, they are the only game, and I don't even know how long, that are actually trying to put those two people together. And of course now that's just creating more, because now the PvPers are like, I don't want to hang out with the PvEers, and the PvEers are like, I don't want to hang out with PvPers, and so now we have like this whole PvE versus PvP versus PvX debate going on. But no, you're 100% right. They absolutely have to have good quality PvE content, or this game will fail. Will. Damn. So you're 100% with okay with PvP dominating PvE. That PvE shouldn't have their playground too. Got it. That's how PvX is defined. That's not what I said, Vertec. Not what I said. At all. I want to see a detailed list of debuffs for going red. I want to be red as much as possible. They have a detailed list of what happens when you go red, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not Ultima Online where you can just be red forever and ever and ever. You ain't gonna want to stay red for long. What are you risking against PvP that you aren't risking against PvE, besides frustration? What are you risking against PvP? Your death has the same penalties whether you did it in PvP or PvE, with the one exception of if you choose not to fight back on the PvP. So the risk is the same. I think. Zillan, thank you for the bottom of the gut for laughing over the final solution comment on the boss. On the boss doors, make it a timer. The risk is not making it in. You're too slow. The reward is fighting for the boss loot. I don't know. I really think the success of this game will rest nearly 100% on how well they can keep the PvE players happy enough to not rage quit. This doesn't mean it needs to be full-blown Mythic Raiding style PvE content, but they think shitty dungeons that take 10 minutes where you get a few crafting mats is going to be enough. I think they're smoking crack. Agreed completely. Man, oh man, you're 100% not the same person, not the person that has the same stance, but I feel your, but that's PvE is equivalent to telling PvE players to suck it up because they have open world PvP and they should be satisfied. You are 100% not the person that has the same stance. But I feel but that's PvE is equivalent to telling PvP players to suck it up because they have open world PvP and they should be satisfied with it. I'm not the only person. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly. Vertec, I get the frustration, but here's the reality. PvP bros are like 10% of the overall MMO player base, and I'm being generous. Also, hardcore PvPers, and that is certifiable fact. Run off PvE players. PvE players do not run off PvPers. It's true. That's true. 100%. So the instance fight in the dungeon takes 8 people, and it's very difficult. It takes you weeks to learn and complete, or at least master. I'm happy with that. Would scratch that itch at least. Yeah, that'd be great. If they had hard instanced content that didn't give the best gear, I'm in. That's all I need. That's it. And then this game is beautiful. But right now, what I have seen so far, like the ogre or Cyclops boss, had a few mechanics. I understand it's like the first world boss. Had a few mechanics. Wasn't that difficult. I always look at talk about that one section where the Cyclops puts that tree down like a lance and runs over Steven, and he failed to dodge out of the way like 5 out of 6 times or something. In a hardcore raid, you're dead. In that raid, you just he took 20% health. They healed him back up and he went back to fighting. I think there's one portion of this conversation a lot of people are ignoring. The stakes of ownership in an area node will encourage plenty of PvE and PvP players to cross over and do the opposite. Yes. I think it's because it's blended. It's blended. It's both at the same time. It's PvP and PvE, both benefiting your node or your cause at the same time. Death has the same penalties, exactly why you're not risking anything at PvE. You're not risking anything if PvP can't attack PvE players doesn't hold any water. The corruption knob will be tuned many times in A2. Get it right, and it should help relieve a lot of the PvEers' concerns. I am 100% on board with that. I think that Steven is not trying to create a gank box. I think he's trying to create a game where the risk is there. Someone can come along and take you out, not that they necessarily will. That's what I think they're trying, and they're going to tune, just like you said, until they get to that nice little sweet spot, and then it's not going to just be people killing people all the time just for no fucking reason. I think most of the PvP that's going to happen is going to happen in the sanctioned PvP events, which there are a lot of them, and all of them, I guess except arenas, but whatever, have PvE injected into them. Hidden Dagger in said night all probably 10 minutes ago. Agreed on the instance PvE with competitive data gathering and only cosmetic achievement title rewards being an amazing addition. Yes. I don't need that. But if that's what the PvEers need to balance out arenas, okay, fine. And we said this the other day on Jamie's stream. PvPers have instanced arenas to go into. It doesn't give the best gear. It gives titles, achievements, mounts, cosmetics. Beautiful. PvEers have instance dungeon fights. Same thing. Wonderful. Everything else in the game is blended PvE and PvE. Honestly, I'm just speaking for myself, but if the dungeon stuff was instance, reasonably difficult, maybe 20, 30-minute runs, and you had some gear drops that were decent but not top tier, and then the final bosses had a chance to draft crafting mats that dedicated crafters would use alongside mats that are obtained only through PvP, or at least farmed in high-risk PvP areas, and that's how you created the best gear in the game, that would be amazing. Yeah, I'm down with that. Zillan, I promise to save my open world PvP ganking you on stream. I mean, come on. I'm gonna be a tank, bro. You ever been hit with a pool noodle? You know how it like stings a little bit, but like I could hit you with a pool noodle for 3 hours and you'd still be alive? That's tanks. That's tanks in Ashes of Creation, at least from what I can tell. So get ready for a pool noodle ass whooping. Ide says, yeah, Cyclops ain't it. Supports maintain, DPS meets a DPS check, rest doesn't even really matter. If a DPS dies, whatever, that's just a basic tank and spank. Yes, I mean, it had a few more mechanics than a tank and spank, but not much. Not much. It was cool. I liked it. I really liked it for the first world boss that you might come across, especially that like a new player might come across. Is that Cyclops? Okay. But if that's as difficult as it gets, if that's a bar for their difficulty, I mean, I'm gonna play Ashes of Creation because I understand some things that a lot of people who didn't play MMOs like pre-2000 understand, because I was there and I was playing them. And it's really hard to like lay out all of that stuff. But I'm gonna play Ashes of Creation, regardless of the how hard the PvE content is. However, if they don't have good, quality, tuned PvE content, they're going to lose a lot of people. Zillan is like, come at me, bro. I could hit you with a pool noodle for 3 hours, Zillan to Mrs. Zillan. This is an open invitation for everyone to snipe attack Zillan on site. I mean, I fully go into Alpha 2 knowing and expecting that y'all are gonna be little dickhead. I mean, y'all are gonna be dickheads. Y'all are gonna just kill me just for no reason because I'm a tank with a wet noodle, with a pool noodle to hit you with. It's bullshit. Y'all should feel bad for me. Y'all should help me. It's bullshit. I'm wondering if I'm becoming more bloodthirsty as I get older because I want all the drama and Ashes. Yes. I cannot wait for the drama in Ashes of Creation. It's gonna be just... Oh. Guilds are gonna be breaking apart left and right. There's all these guilds that are forming in the pre-alpha 2 phase, especially the ones that have been around for years and years and years. I don't say this I don't mean this in a way to attack any particular guild. And I don't even really want it to happen, but I kind of do. I can't wait to see all those guilds fracture and tear. Like, it's gonna happen. A lot of these guilds are gonna fracture and tear when they get into game and realize that their plans that they thought that they were making based on the information that we had available, it doesn't work now when we get into game. And some of these big guilds are going to turn into a whole lot of small guilds. Someday it's going to be so great. There's going to be YouTube channels that are dedicated just to covering the drama on their server. There's going to be Eve style articles written. I don't know if y'all know that, but like every year or two or something like that, there'll be an article written about some big battle that happened in Eve where hundreds of thousands of real life dollars worth of ships were destroyed, and it lasted for like 50 hours, and they tell the whole sordid story of like this one guy who got mad and like made a new character and wormed his way into leadership of the guild that pissed him off and like took down their defenses at the last minute, and it's all, oh my god, we're gonna have the same shit. Oh, we're gonna have the same shit. It's gonna be so beautiful. Vertex says LMAO. Pool noodles is about right. Best I could squeak out as a tank in Node Wars was maybe 35 to 40% of someone's life in maybe 20 seconds. Oh my god. And that's everything. That's like giving it your all. Yep, everything I've seen from the tank so far is like, yeah, you can control the battlefield, you're tough to kill, you know, you can taunt and whatever, but you don't hit hard. Okay, I'm going to show my age, but I think another cool PvX thing they are doing are EQ-style open-world dungeon areas with rare spawns that are random, where PvP is enabled in those areas. I mean, yeah, that's kind of all of PvX that this game has. Like, it seems like all the bosses, except for the few instance ones, are just out there in the open. They have random spawn timers. If you happen to be there and get a raid group there before somebody else and can defend the area, but while your guys get them killed first, there's yours. Morgan has said, I thought we were going to be your mindless peasants. No. You are going to be my mindless peasant. Other people can be bodyguards and generals and captains and stuff like that. It's just you that's the mindless peasant. Yeah, I played UO too, so I'm still hyped for it, but I also love progression rating in ESO. Oh. Takes months to get everyone perfectly coordinated for the hardest content. God, ESO's rating makes me want to cry. Zillin, you could hit people with a 2-inch noodle. Hey, got 3 kids on me. They don't call me the 2-pump chump for nothing. Look at the drama this PvX in dungeon topic has had recently, and the game isn't even out yet. Yes. Oh, I watched that video about EVE Online by Down the Rabbit Hole. That video was a 10-hour long video, if I remember correctly. Yes, Nemesis, yes. I didn't watch that one, but I know about it. And I know about the drama with with EVE. And Ashes is 100% going to have that drama. People are fighting PvE versus PvP versus PvE, and I'm sitting here fighting Caravan Song or Carfin Song for best song. I'm partial to the Caravan Song. I think it's the In the Land of Vera You Must Stand and Fight, because I didn't put that into the prompt. I literally just told it, write a song about a group of people trying to take a caravan from a city called Winstead to a city called Miraleth, and all they want to do is get their markets to good, and they're being chased by bandits. And I, boom, put it in. Or I also said it was in the World of Era. And then I put that in, and boom, and that was the song that spit it out. And then when it got to that section of in the Land of Era, You Must Stand and Fight, I was just like, yes, this is awesome. So it became my favorite, and we'll see if any of them ever overtake that. I'm making more all the time. I don't know if y'all noticed, there's 2 new ones on the stream today. Kaylin says, I'm just looking forward to the open world friction, grinding zones, politics, etc. Give me another L2 style game of PvX and I'm good for years. Yep. That is true. Grimnir says, I guess what I mean. Think of a place like Sebelis, Lower Guck, etc. I don't know what those words mean. Sebelis and Lower Guck. Nope. Dude, the history of drama there from their early days to present day, and damn, I want to be part of that type of history that Ashes has to offer. Yes. I remember a huge drama story that happened in Dark Age of Camelot 20 years ago. There was a website that was put up dedicated to all of it and stuff. It's gone now, but like that was a big deal back then. Huge deal on 2 of the biggest servers, or the 2 of the realms on the biggest server for Dark Age of Camelot. ESO raid mechanics and the hardest trials are legit. Oh, the mechanics are legit. I just hate action combat and what action combat does to raiding, in particular healing, which what it does to healing affects how all of raiding happens. So yeah, that's why. Yep, I was playing UO when everybody was playing EQ. And then Dark Age of Camelot when everybody was playing. Well, people still were playing EQ. It is so close to the best song. I just think it should half a mile instead of another mile. The 2 syllables versus the 3 causes it to be clunky. Well, I will inform the song making AI, Levi, that you think that some of its lyrics are clunky, and it should be looking out for the syllable count. So there you go. Yeah, Remnir, I was not an EQ guy. I logged into EQ one time on my computer while I was still playing UO, and it was a shit computer, and I could not play it. Like the frames were stuttering so bad, the lag was so bad. I don't know if I logged in on a bad day. My internet was bad. My computer just couldn't run that game because it was more graphically enhanced than Ultima Online. Graphically demanding is the word I was looking for. I don't know, but so that's literally all of the EQ experience I have is logging in, creating a character, not being able to basically play the game at all, and logging out. I never played the game. I can't remember what server it was, but I still remember the Siege of Ironforge and WoW. I do believe I've heard about that. That was an event that happened that was so big that it like transcended just the game. I was playing UO when people were playing EQ and then WoW. I tried WoW and thought it was simple compared to UO. Then it blew up from South Park. What blew up from South Park? Not WoW. This Ash's Hero in the Night is one of the new ones, right? Nope. Nope, that's I've had that one for a while. I have one that is called The Fighter, and it's all about an orcish fighter, and him battling somebody, and it has maim and rupture and blitz and momentum and cataclysm, like has all the words for all the names of the abilities in it. And then I have one called I think it's called Intrepid Warriors, and it's all about a crew of warriors who are doing something new in a world where everybody keeps doing the same crap over and over again. They have new battle tactics and they're trying new things, and they're on the precipice of becoming like super famous because of it. Okay, I have been streaming for how long? I feel like a long time. I don't have anywhere where it shows me that information. Oh, 2 hours and 17 minutes? It's not that long. But I have been streaming for a while. So I am going to get out of here, guys. As always, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and the chat. How much you guys keep the 1 more hour can't hurt Wolfheart. What's up, brother? I tried to jump in your stream and repay you for coming by and hanging out in my stream, and you didn't even see the chat. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go on about my day. I know you're busy when you're playing Fallout. But anyways, yeah, I got to get out of here. It's getting close to midnight, and if I stay up late, I'll fuck up my sleep schedule, and I can't do that. But yeah, I had fun. I'm going to be streaming
Ready to
Mondays,
serve, my lord.
probably evenings, and Wednesday, Thursdays at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. So you guys come and hang out. You have a dandy night and good rest, sir. Yeah, you too, Vertec. You too, buddy. And thank you for the follow, Gandalf Shalom. Gandalf Shalom, that's a name. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, look at the donation. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Ides. I really do. So yeah, thanks you guys, and I'll be back Wednesday. Yep, yeah, I'm making a stream schedule. We're getting serious, Wolfheart. We're getting serious. We are like right here for Ashes of Creation to start becoming serious. I'm actually working on a video. Yeah, we're getting there. So, yep, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night. Oh, is there somebody streaming in the Twitch Ashes of Creation category? Just me. All right. Then I have nobody to raid. Y'all have a good one, y'all.